First off, welcome. Goddamn it, welcome. Where you at? You ready?
This is the Bernie's Daughter Podcast.
I ain't scared of you, motherfucker.
The show where you get a front row seat to the magic,
Where you at?
humor, and wisdom of the late, great Bernie Mac, as seen through the eyes of his loving daughter.
I don't care about you talking about me.
And his famous friends.
Welcome, everybody, to today's episode of the Bernie's Daughter Podcast. I am your host, Janice McCullough, the one and only daughter of the late, great Bernie Mac, hence the name Bernie's Daughter. Today's guest is a Grammy and Emmy award-winning comedian. She's written a New York Times best-selling book. She's graced both the big and the small screens, all while continuing her stand-up career. And if that wasn't enough, she has an album coming out that I really want to talk to her about. I can't wait to get to that. So please welcome to my show today, Tiffany Haddish.
Hey, you know what I haven't cleaned my room? I haven't cleaned my bedroom. That's what I haven't done.
But thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. Like, it's a joy to have you. So we'll just dive right on into it. Since this is the Bernie's Daughter Podcast, we got to start on my dad. He's most notably known for his I Ain't Scared of You, performance on Def Jam. Is that the first time you ever saw him perform?
That is the very first time I ever saw him perform. And I was like, who's that man? I want to be just like him when I grow up. I want to meet him. I want to be friends with him. I want to learn from him. And, maybe the 10 years after that performance, I got to meet him on his show. And I was an extra. I'm very proud of it. I think I even might have, I don't know if I have a picture. I do have a picture of that day, but I don't know if I have a picture with him. But I remember him giving me some of the best advice I ever got in this business, which was, nobody should get more than 10% of your money. And if they want more than 10%, then they need to make you more money. Period.
Yeah. You learned that the hard way. So, yeah.
Yeah. And he was very, very adamant about that. And he was like, get on stage as much as possible, young lady. If you get on stage, you'll never be defeated. If you keep getting on stage, you'll grow and you'll grow. And he was right.
I love it. I love it. I'm so happy you got to meet him because whenever I talk to people who, talk about having seen him, I always get a little sad for the people who are like, I never got to meet him. I'm like, darn. I think for me, and I'm not saying it because he's my dad, it's just who he was. He was one of those people that what you saw was what you got, on and off the screen. So you didn't have to look at him on screen and think, oh my gosh, I bet he's like this. And then you meet him and you're like, oh, okay, no, he's not. Like, he wasn't one of those.
Not one of those at all. Not at all. He was exactly what I saw on TV, plus more. Like, I didn't think he was going to be so helpful or informative, because so many comedians aren't, because they feel like it's a big competition. And he was helpful, kind, like everything that I was hoping he would be. He was that.
Oh, I'm so glad you got to have that experience. I love talking to people about him, because that's pretty much what everybody says. As his kid, it just makes me swell with pride. Like, yes, that's my daddy. So yeah. So specifically going back to like the Def Jam performance, what was it specifically about that performance that stood out to you that just made you go, man?
It felt like he was a family member, like an uncle or somebody, like someone that would give you the real truth, the real advice. Also, he was dressed very eclectic. Like I was like, oh, he must got money, because he had like the medallion, the hair, glasses. Like, he had all this going on. And it was just, to me, it felt like, he's fashion forward. He's present. Even when he did like the Kings of Comedy and how everybody wore suits. And I was just like, yeah, I want to be a part of something like that, where everyone dresses their best and put the best foot forward. And it just seemed like, to me, when I watched that particular performance, he really did not care what people thought about him. It was more so, here's my experience and I'm going to share it with y'all. And I hope you learn from it. Like, to me, that was so powerful. And I did learn from it.
I love it. It's so funny you said that he looked like he had money. Girl, we ain't had no money. We was living in a 1-bedroom apartment on the south side of Chicago.
He knew what I was looking good though.
Yeah, he always loved to dress. No, even in our broke days, he loved to dress and look good. So that's so funny that you said that. Specifically for you, like I guess you just basically answered it. Is that how seeing, my dad perform, is that how it influenced your comedy, that, this is just who I am, take it or leave it? Is that how it did for you?
I'm gonna be honest with you. At first, I was trying to figure things out, and I thought that like being a girl, girls, like if you're a girly girl, they're not really thought of as funny, and I was told like, women aren't funny, women should be seen, not heard, all these different things. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to be more boyish. I'm gonna try to be more, like, hey, what's good? Maybe they'll listen to me more if I'm more like wearing no hat and the like bang pants and the tennis shoes and the little cotton on the shirt, like, hey, and people weren't really responding to that very much. And I remember this lady came up to me. She was like, "You're a pretty girl. You should carry yourself as such. Do you dress like this when you go out on a date?" I said, "No." She said, "Do you dress like this when you go to the club with your girlfriends?" I said, "No." She said, "Well, then dress that way. Dress the way you would be, because you are dating this audience. You're on a date. You're present. You're presenting something to them. And so, like, if you're presenting, you want to be presentable. So be presentable and be your best self, right?" And then I started doing that. And then I got to do extra work on the Bernie Mac show. And that's where I got to meet Bernie, right? And I was telling him I'm a comedian and stuff. And he was like, "Well, you're going to do very well." Now, mind you, I was wearing a really pretty dress. I had my little Holly Berry haircut, wig on. I was looking cute. And he was like, "You're going to do very well. This is a good look for you. This is good." He was like, "If you're funny, it's going to really pay off if you just show up and do your work. Just show up." He said, "Write every day, do this." And I'm like, "What about management? What about this? What about that?" And he was giving me all this great advice that I still to this day carry with me and follow.
I love it. Love it. Love it. See, and that's how his legacy lives on. I love it. It just, gosh, that makes me feel so good. So what would you say, and I guess you just answered as well, but what would you say were the key elements of his comedy that, not just for you, but that everybody, like when you watch Bernie Mac, especially in today's climate, what should you appreciate and understand about his comedy?
Well, I appreciated that he talked about his family, right? He talked about family. He talked about things that were real and like in the community we notice, but nobody really talks about. Like, it's just like, that kid's special, something different about that. Like, but he talked about that. And like in today's climate, people might be like, "Oh no, don't do that." But it was necessary. Like I feel like people wouldn't be free to be themselves had he not talked about those things. Like, it would be a lot of people hiding in the closet right now looking for some milk and cookies had he not talked about the things the way he talked about it, right? And he did it in such a way that to me was classy, still showed that he loved his family, but also it was like, okay, I'm dealing with this here and I'm trying to figure it out as a man, as a father, as an uncle. I'm trying to figure out my family and be a good support system for them. And it's a struggle. Like I feel like his whole set was about like, I don't care what y'all think. I'm here for my people, my family, my kids, my nieces, my nephews, my sisters, my brothers, my mother, my father. Like his family was to him, to me, it was like he was, to me, America's Black dad. That was like a real dad. Like, I ain't no doctor, I ain't no lawyer. I'm out here making it happen for my kids the best way I know how, and we are going to enjoy our lives the best way we can. That's what I.
Oh, I love that you said that, because to me, that means that you really saw him, because everything that you just said, that is exactly what he was like behind the scenes. He was the one in the family that everybody called when they needed something, because he was the one that was going to take care of everything. And if you didn't call him, he was going to be mad and he was going to insert himself in your stuff. Like, he was so big on taking care of everybody that sometimes you had to tell him, "Listen, I know you mean well, but you need to back off on, like, let me figure it out. Let me do it." And then he would get mad about that. Like, "Oh, so I can't help you? Then fine, I ain't gonna do nothing." But he'd still come in and do stuff anyway.
Sneak help, that's me. I'm a sneak helper.
Yes. But he wasn't even sneaky. He was just gonna come in and tell you, like, this was gonna happen. Like I tell people all the time, he had a heart of gold. He wanted what was best for everybody that he loved. It was just, he wasn't gonna even sneak into it. It was just, listen, we tried it your way. It don't work. Move.
Right.
But yeah, that you just like,
you can get better at not doing that at all. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna stand back and just I'll watch.
It's hard though. It's so hard because I tell people he and I are a lot alike, and that has been one of the toughest lessons I've had to learn in my life, not to jump in and fix everything for everybody, because it renders them helpless. It enables them, and
then they be resenting you later. They resent you.
Exactly.
That's crazy to you later. That's like, I stopped giving out money. I'm like, I'm not giving out no more money. Like, I would give my time, which has taken away from my time personally, like to clean my room. But like, I will give time to Lord if I can. Like, and I do. And sometimes it's to my detriment. But like, I used to give money. I used to be like, here goes some money, get it together. Here goes some money, fix it. Here goes my, and then it would be like, you think I can't do it? My friend, you think they would resent me or feel like they owe me? And I'm like, you don't owe me anything. I never asked for the money back. But it's still that little bit of them that feels like, it's, I don't know what that feeling is, because I've never really experienced it, because I always look out for those that look out for me. So
exactly. Yeah.
I don't describe that feeling, but guilt. I don't know.
I think it's, and then I think it's also a little bit of pride, where it's like, yes, I should be able to do this myself and I can't. And even though I know you got me and you can help me, I'm tired of you always being the one to get, I think it's a lot of that too. Yeah. But I completely, watching him, he went through the same thing, because once he got it, he wanted everybody to win and he'd give everybody money, and then it just be more problems. It either, like I said, enabled them, or like you said, you get the resentment. Like when they come to you, it was a whole lot of stuff that comes out that you, like you said, when you don't have a heart like that, when you're somebody who I just want to help everybody, you're like, dang, why everybody acting like this? What? Like,
that always is.
I love it. Yeah. But it's that too. Yeah. It's, people always say, folks change when they, get to like where your status was, where my dad's status was. And what I found is, yeah, of course you grow and change as a person, but it seemed like it was more the people around us that changed more than anything.
Yeah, they do. Because they see you a certain way, and it's like, you still see yourself the same. Like, I still see myself as the same Tiffany, trying to, just trying, like, I'm not worried about food. I'm not worried about if I'm going to have a roof over my head. And you have to be willing to ask for help. And I don't want to seem like the needy girl or the failure. Like, I failed to cover my bills. I failed to do this. Like, and it's not failure sometimes. Sometimes it's just, hey, this is the hand you're dealt. You got to learn humility. Got to learn how to be humble. You got to learn how to ask for help. And what I've learned from those experiences, like, I would never be where I'm at today had I not started asking for help and asking those real questions. Like, what does it take to do this? What does it take to do that? Like, I used to just be like, I figured out. And I never figured it out. I'm still in the car. I'm still homeless. No. Like, now, start asking for help. Like, and I'm doing stuff on this show. I'm asking the greats, the people that I admire. If I'm getting in their presence, I'm going to ask like 4 questions, 5 questions, and see if they're willing to share. And every single one has been willing to give me some kind of sound advice, some guidance, some help. Like, every single one of my mentors, I haven't met anyone that, like, in my mind, people are my mentors that I never met them before, but just by their actions, just by living their life, they've been my mentor. And so then when I get to meet them and I ask them questions, every single one is answered. Every single one has given me a moment of their time to help my life be better. And so that to me, I feel so lucky and so blessed. And like, had I not gone through those months, like, had I not humbled my ass, had humbled me, I would probably still be homeless, or who knows what I would be. But I'm not that, so I'm good.
That takes me back to something my dad used to say. He used to always tell me, learn from watching other people. He was like, you ain't gonna never live long enough to make all the mistakes or to make all the right moves yourself. So learn from watching other people. So I love that you said that.
I always feel like I mentor a lot of foster youth and stuff. I talk to them and give them guidance. And I always tell them, they're like, Miss Tiffany, you do this, you do this. I'm like, no, pay attention to my mistakes and don't make the same ones. Like, see the mistakes that I've made and do better, be better. I'm going to be just like you when I grow up. No, be better. Be better than me. Like, learn from the mistakes that I've made. Ask the questions. Don't be ashamed to ask questions. Like, it was a point in time I was scared to ask questions. And once I started asking them, life changed. Life got way better. Once I started asking questions, like, don't be afraid to ask. And it might actually change your life. And it might make what I noticed too, like, I've been meeting a lot of billionaires lately and stuff, and I ask them so many questions, and they're so helpful. I'm like, whoa, who would have known? Who would have known this person's like helping me this much? And because I asked them a question and something might come across their desk or a thing, they're like, well, you know what would be good with this? Tiffany. I should slide this to Tiffany. And it's like changes the whole trajectory of what I was trying to do and to make it even better. So it's like, don't be afraid to talk about your struggles or what you try to do. Like, especially if it's someone who's doing better than you, they can probably give you some guidance or connect you with people that can help.
Oh, I love that. That is such wonderful advice. And you've already touched on it, you being homeless and all the trials that you have gone through in your comedy career. There's this, legend of sorts that all comedians, their comedy comes from pain.
I think legend, I think that's kind of a fact. I have to learn one comedian that's very successful that doesn't have some sort of struggle going on.
I agree with it. I wholeheartedly, like when my dad used to, study comedy and look at all the comedians' lives, that was the first thing I took away. I was like, why is everybody life so tragic? My gosh, like what is it? But it's amazing that through the midst of that, you all are able to channel that in a way that not only brings, healing for you all, but it brings healing to other people as well. We get to experience, laughter and joy and kind of, either forget about our problems or relate to, our problems in a different way because of the gift that you all give us. So for you, how did you find the wherewithal to remain funny, to keep going after your dream in the midst of all of those hardships?
Only to escape the hardships. And for me, being on stage was like the safest place I could be in the best way for me to escape. And I would talk about, like at first, like, let me be honest. At first, I would never talk. I'm like, I'm never going to let nobody know I'm homeless. I'm never going to talk about, but I would talk about like luxury car living or I would talk about it like it could be a thing, but it was an actual thing. Like, and I would just, so much pain. I've been on stage in the middle of a miscarriage in like the most physical pain you could imagine. Oh my God. My soul is being ripped out of my body. And I'm saying these words, and I'm doing little act outs and I'm in full blown pain, tears coming out of my eyes, and people are laughing. And there's a part of me that feels like, oh, what a healing. Oh, nobody can tell. And then there's another part of me that's like, what is wrong with you? Get back in the bed. Like, you're crazy. But when I'm in the bed, I feel like I'm going to die. But when I'm on the stage, I feel like I'm alive, like I'm going to live, like there's a chance, like, there's a chance for survival. There's I'm here, I'm being accepted. Maybe I'm losing, but I'm winning. And it is, girl, I just started talking about this shit this year too, because I've been holding that in front of all. And I feel like God put me in a place like, you need to talk about this. You got this. And it's like, you're not the only person going through this. And I always knew I wasn't the only person that was like having this pain or having these losses. But I just felt like there's like, how can you make that funny? And I have found ways to make endometriosis funny. I found ways to like deal with it, to handle it, to handle the losses, to handle the whatever, to cope. It's coping. I'm coping. Like will I ever solve it? I hope so. I hope there's a cure somewhere. But will I ever give all those babies back? No, never get them back. But I've been taking care of more babies. I've been doing things outside of that. Like there's kids out here that don't have parents, and I've been, been present for them, been there for them. It's hard though. I don't even, and sometimes I amaze myself, like, how did you do that right now? Like, how could you? In the bathroom, curled up in the corner, crying profusely. You're smiling, and how are you even able to carry this smile right now? Like, how are you even able to talk to these people right now? Like,
yeah.
And I don't know. Here's a corn on this. Well, a lot of times I think it's God. I think it's like, so much of it, just like, you gave me this gift, I want to share that. I don't want to share the hurt. I don't want to share the pain. But then I feel like God be on me like, yo, it's time to share. It's time to let people know. Some people might say it's too much information, but those are just people that don't understand. And once they need to hear it, they don't hear it and they don't know. And it's like, I had to change a lot. I had to change how I eat, change how I sleep, change how I how I work my body, how I use my body. Like, and things have gotten better, but it's still really hard.
So just hearing you say that, like, one, I just want to reach through the screen and give you a big old hug, because I'm just like, oh my gosh, my sister. Okay, like, come here, bring it on in. I'm also looking at you, and I'm just thinking, my God, the strength of this woman to, like you said, you on stage in the midst of a miscarriage, and you're still carrying with your routine. You're not being like, oh, hold on, let me. And just to hear you say, like, no, when I'm on stage, that's where I feel like I have a fighting chance. Like, I've grown up around comedians my whole life. So I always say there's something special. Y'all have something special within y'all that the rest of us don't have. I don't know what it is, but it is. And it's that thing that makes you all, when you all get on stage, something deep from within that I don't even, like you said, like, you all don't even know where it comes from, just rises up and makes you share it. And on the one hand, I'm so grateful for it. It's so amazing that you can do that, that you can make us laugh with you and not at you, that you can transmute that pain into something else. But there's the part of me that's also like, but you're a human. How does that get transmuted? You're doing that for us. How does that get done for you?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll be in the garden a lot.
Okay.
Planting a lot of seeds. I mean, imagining all these plants that I plant are like, they're all my babies. Like, I imagine like, every time I do a movie or a TV show where I make enough money, I buy like an apartment building and I turn that into a place where, emancipated foster youth can live and get the life skills that they need. Like, so that they don't go through the same stress and struggles that I went through. Like, I'm just trying to, I literally, I feel like I was born damaged, and all I'm doing is trying to heal every day. And I don't want to let anybody down. I think that's why I do go on stage. Like, a sold out show, 5,000 people are waiting to see you. They've gotten babysitters. They've done all these things to get to where you are. And then like, they don't deserve me not showing up if I can show up. Now, I might not show up at my best. I might be in a lot of pain. I might be extremely exhausted. I might be, I feel like
that is your best. Even in the midst of that, that's your best.
But I'm just saying, I feel like somebody could shoot me in the leg. They wrap it up, so stitch me untechable, and I'll stitch it up. And I would take my ankle. And I would talk about it, and I would talk about miscarriages, but I wouldn't talk about like that it's something I'm going through. I wouldn't say that I'm going through it. I would talk about it in a whole nother way. Like, my jokes are miscarrying, or this is like, that job interview, I miscarried that job interview. That was a fail. Like, I would talk about the things that I'm telling on myself, but I'm not telling on myself. I would talk about how painful a period is and how I wish men would have periods. And if, the closest thing they get to is a kid. Chitty cells on all men at least one time so they can understand what it feels like to be losing. And it was funny because I'm like, yeah, every month I feel like I lose, but then at the same time I'm winning because let's talk to that guy. Like, right. Yeah, then I go into this whole thing, I just go into this whole thing, and negate from what it is, just, talking from an imaginary place, but it was not imaginary. Like, I didn't know who the daddy would be, but I'm just saying, like, it would just be, me trying to cope with my pain and talk about it. And it's funny because I would go to therapy. I started going to therapy and I talk with the therapist about it. The therapist is like, whoa, Tiffany, you've been holding in a lot. And I'm like, to me, I don't feel like I've been holding in there much because I've been telling it, but in a humorous way. And I haven't necessarily made it about me, but it is.
Mm-hmm. I find that, well, one, you just have that strong woman syndrome, that most Black.
I have to be strong since I was 13 years old. Like 13, I had toxic shock, right? And then every month since then, I've been in pain, in tragic pain, like just pain. And I tell the doctors, they say, oh, take the birth control pill, or here, you need to just take a few ibuprofen. You're strong, you're a woman. It's normal. Those things are normal. That stuff is not normal. And
normal, no.
I'd be so jealous. Like, I'm telling you, like, jealousy is not my bag, but I would be so jealous of men, of the male comics, because they had energy. They could just go up and be like, whatever. And then I'm over here trying to manufacture this energy because I feel like things are being ripped. I feel like I'm being ripped apart on the inside. And none of these men can relate to me. None of these comics can relate to this. And then I try to talk with other female comics, and some of them would be cool. A lot of them felt like I was, competition, or they'd be intimidated by me or whatever. So then they don't want to talk to me about anything except for, I shouldn't be doing comedy. You should be doing this instead. You should be doing that. And it's like, well, this is my outlet. This is my outlet. This is where I feel safe. This is where I feel like I could talk about certain things. Then occasionally I would get lucky and I would talk about certain things that somebody from the audience would make their way to me and go, I know exactly how you feel. I'll go through the same thing. But I had to get a hysterectomy, girl. And I'm like, ooh, I don't want to do that. Hey, like, to say, I know how you feel. I've been through it too. Like that kind of stuff, that made it bearable. That made me feel like, well, you know what? Keep going. I'm not, and like you said, I'm not the only one. And I always the only one. Shit, when I was in foster care, there would be a bunch of us sitting waiting for, our turn in front of the judge. There'd be hundreds of us in that little room, in that play room or whatever, waiting for them to call us to go to the courtroom. So I know that I'm not the only one suffering. I just know that I'm long suffering.
Yeah.
And like some days I'm like, whoa, the day that I die, oh, that'll probably be lovely. But then I'm like, the day that I die, I don't get to create no more. I don't get to share no more. So I don't look forward to that at all. But because through this pain, through this long suffering, I'm able to share. I'm able to heal, and I see others healing too. So it's worth it to me. It's all worth it to me.
Well, we thank you for that. And just hearing you say that, like, I don't have endometriosis, but just I can relate in the sense that when my dad died and the grief that I went through, and like you said, it was like trying to talk to different people. Couldn't talk really to family members because it was like they're grieving too. And it's almost like, oh, you reminded me too much, and that's everybody. Oh, you look just like him. Oh, so it was, it was that. And then, talking to my friends after a while, I think a lot of them saw me as the strong person. So it was just like, but you're you. So, you'll bounce back, to the, talking like people I would meet on the street that would see, oh, your Bernie started right. They would, oh, but you must have money now. So you're doing all right. Like it was like, where are there? No.
Like, I really on my baddie than that money any day.
That's what I was like. Do y'all not understand? I won't, like I just said, when he did Def Jam, we was broke, living in a 1-bedroom apartment on 101st and King Drive on the south side of Chicago. I'd rather have that moment. I'd rather go back to that than live like this. And I just remember the struggle of just grieving. Right
now, I'm on tour right now, and in my set, I'm talking about dealing with grief. Like, because I feel like it all like has hit me all at one time. Like my grandma, my dog died, my mentors have passed. Like I've lost like friendships and all these things. Like in a matter of 2 years, I feel like everything kind of crumbled, right? And then I'm dealing with losing babies on top of that, and menstrual pain, and like all these different pains that I'm dealing with at one freaking time. And how do you handle that? Like, I'm in the backyard, just randomly in the backyard doing rhythmic dance. To a picture of my grandmother. I put a picture of my grandma up, and I'm doing rhythmic dance with ribbons and stuff, like dedicating this dance to her. Now I'm 40-something years old in the backyard, like,
that's all right. Get it. Yes, get it out. Like, that somatic movement. Because when you talk about grief, I think so many of us think of the ritual of having like a service or something, and then, repast, and then poof, now you go back to normal. And it's like, no, you never, like, no, I am now a different person now.
Yeah,
right.
I can't go home and give him a kiss anymore. Like, yeah. I mean, when Girls Trip came out, like, right before, 2 months before Girls Trip came out, my dad was dead. My dad died. And I had to cremate him. I did what he asked me to do. I did not like what he wanted me to do. It did not sit well with my soul, what he wanted me to do for him. But I did it, and that shit hurt. But my whole world is opening up, and everything that I work for is hot. And now I can't even share it with him. Like, he's in my bedroom. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you, since this man passed, my room has been a tragic mess. I think he's doing it. I think he's messing up. Already. My daddy coming in and he pulling all the clothes out the suitcases.
He's like, yeah, let me just do this here.
He messing it up. His ashes out my room. I took half of his ashes to Africa and buried him in Africa. I put a little bit of them in my garden because he never really fed me. And I was like, I'm put some of you on my box so you can feed me. And like, my garden is beautiful. And then the rest of them is in my bedroom. And my bedroom been a mess ever since. I'm gonna have to get them on my bed.
Yeah. You gotta go somewhere else with that. Yeah.
I'd like to put them in. I'll have to put them in the car.
No. Oh my gosh. I'm
I'm talking about it. I'm sorry.
No, you have nothing to apologize for. This is beautiful, and I love it, and I appreciate it, because I usually talk a lot about grief because I know what I felt like going through it. And it's like you said, like, things are happening, your world is opening up, but there's still this part of you that is sad and uncomfortable because you don't have that home, that place, that person.
That support that you used to have. So, yeah, the anchor is gone, and it's kind of like you floating aimlessly, and it's like, oh, is this okay? I don't know. Like, and then I'm like, let me ask you this. Do your daddy show up in your dreams?
Girl, listen, this whole podcast is a result of that. I had a dream. We were walking hand in hand, like backstage, like, and the curtains, opened, and then the spotlight came on the stage. And I did, what I'm used to doing, stepping back, like, okay, he's about to go on stage and do his thing. And then he looked at me, shook his head no, and stepped back. And then he gestured, like, for me, like, you go out front. And I was just sitting looking at him like, you say what now? Well, I'm sorry, excuse me? You said, this is not what we do. Like, and that's only one dream. Like, he's always showing up in my dreams. Like, if there's something that needs to be shown to me, here he comes.
Yeah. Mine show up. My grandma, she will not stay out my dreams. She passed away a year and a half ago. And I'm like, okay, you need to take a break. Go dance with Cindy Cordy this time. Like, what are you going now with your aunties and your uncles? Like, leave me alone. Like, let me have one dream to me. It's like, no, she trained me. This is how you got to do your interviews. This is what you have to be more genuine. You got to be more this. Stop being afraid of crying. It's okay to cry. It's okay to do this. Now walk. Like, if she teaching me how to walk, like, and then like, yeah, scouts. Okay, now smile like this. No, you smile wrong. That's how that you look crazy like that. Stop doing your face like that. Relax your face. And I'm like, kid, not just sleep.
Not right now. Because that's the time you gonna listen. If she wait till you awake, you ain't gonna listen. You gonna brush it off like,
now, and get tired, and I feel like I'm working out. Like, yes, I'm tired like that. Them dang high heels she had me wearing, and they're like higher than any high heels I ever seen in my whole entire life. And she got me doing all these There's common stairs. I'm like, what does this mean? What does this mean? Or I'm trying to have a sexy dream, like, okay, I'm on a sexy dream about it. And then talk about no, that's not how you hold the neck. Kiss them like that. You just want grandma? Forget it. You know what? I was celibate in my dreams too. I'm keeping going with dreams. Listen, you're supposed to hear dreams, grandma. That no.
I had one time, like I was in, like, it was beautiful ambiance and everything. And then the guy would get, and then next thing I know, he came in and I was like, I woke up so disturbed. Like, what? Why were you there? Why were you there?
Like, and then I'm like calling my therapist. Okay, I think I have a problem. She done showed up at 2 of my intimate dreams that I don't mind her showing up to gently or whatever, but if I'm on a date with my dream man in my dreams, I would think she could stop answering that. And I'm like, hey, that's my subconscious. That's me, right? That's me. I got a mental problem. I'm pretty sure that's wrong with me. Because she shouldn't be in there. If she's trying to tear, at least she wasn't trying to get into the situation. She's trying to be my guy. This 9-year-old mom. She got to, like, Grandma, go away. Go away, Grandma. In the name of Jesus. In the other child. Come on. Lord, get her out of here. That's it. Never mind. I'm waking up.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
You got me sweating over here thinking about it.
That's a girl. I had to turn my fan on because I'm like, oh, okay.
But I love you, Grandma. I love you.
Right. And you gotta say, like, I love you. Like, I want you to come visit me again. But just can we get some boundaries around when you do this?
But these are the things I'm talking about in my stand-up now. Like, I'm on tour right now, and I'm like talking about these things, and it's really, I want to use the word cathartic because I just learned it, but it's like kind of like a healing that's happening. And, it's funny because last night my grandma showed it. She was like, I saw that joke you said the other night. And I'm going to tell you, it was funny. We was laughing. Oh, yeah, we was all up here laughing. But I'm going to need you to get it right, okay? This is what I tell you to do. And I did. Don't be making up stuff. And tell the truth.
Right. If you're going to use material,
don't be exaggerating. Tell the truth. This is what I said to do. Now, this is what you're going to do, okay? Now, let's get to your exercise. Put your shoes on. It's time to walk.
I love it.
Like, the dad is critiquing my comedy. It's make it to me that is the dad is critiquing my comedy.
But she gonna tell you right. You gonna get it right.
She's never told me wrong. She's always told me right. And like in her day, back in the 50s and the 60s, she was a model. She was one of the first Black women to be on TV modeling clothes and stuff. And she got to do like little plays and everything. And my grandpa was a singer. And like, so there's entertainment in my blood. And I think she's like literally vicariously living through me. Even when she was alive, she'd be like, tell me about this. Okay, no, you're supposed to do this. No, you should have did that. Okay, now, no, that was a good choice. No, why did you do that? That was it. You should have been in that. Like, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know. Like, she just giving me the same kind of guidance that was a little more aggressive in my dreams than it was in real life. A little more aggressive.
So you better listen. Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. And I love that you're incorporating that in your comedy, and it just shows how you have evolved, and it's just been a joy to see. If we go back like a few years in your career, because how do you take the criticism? Because it's been said like you didn't pay your dues to get, which I don't even know what that's supposed to mean about people paying their dues, because there isn't this one, there isn't this trajectory like everybody's supposed to get to whatever space they're supposed to get to in the same way. But how do you get to the point where does it even bother you when people are criticizing?
No, it don't. If it's my family members, it bothers me because I actually love them. If there's somebody I actually love doing that, then it might bother me a little bit. But no, it doesn't bother me because they don't know me. Like, I started this in 1996. I was on the news, like my very first time doing this stand-up comedy show. I'm on the news, and I didn't bomb, but I also wasn't the best. Like, You know, I was a kid. I was freaking 16 years old, 15 years old. I'm 43 now. So if people feel like I didn't pay my dues, that's on them. But like, this is what I've been doing the whole time. I worked at the airlines for a little bit. I used to do comedy there. I used to get written up for telling jokes over the PA system and making all of what you laugh. I used to get citations for that. Like, you know, it's something that I've always done. Like, if people that know me, no. Like, if you knew me, I was inviting you to a comedy show. You was getting some tickets to a show. Okay, I was giving you some. I was talking you into buying you some. Like, I have always done stand-up comedy. Now, the acting did that too. I was in high school. I was a gifted student of dramatic arts. They sent me to college. I was still I was in 11th grade, going to college on weekends, taking these gifted student programs, doing this gifted student program, taking these classes, learning about how to be in front of a camera, learning about, you know, what it takes to have a stellar performance, learning about movement of the body. That's why I'm like a very physical comedian, because I was trained. I learned these things. It's always something that I was going to do. Even as a kid, I used to be on my tricycle in the backyard singing. I would gather all the kids in the neighborhood, have me come over to my backyard. I'd give everybody apricots, plums, peaches, and stuff that was growing in our yard. And I'd be like, okay, you got to watch my performance. And I'd sit up in little folding chairs, little kid chairs, and I would do a show for them on my tricycle, ride around singing. Then I'd do a monologue because I wanted to be on Star Search. And I figured if I perfect all these different categories, I got to be on it some kind of way. I would choreograph dance routines with the kids in the neighborhood. Like, we was always doing something, right? Like, entertaining somebody. So for people to say, oh, she just passed by, or she just whatever, they obviously didn't read my book, Tiffany Haddish, The Last Black Unicorn. They have no idea all the people that I have encountered and met throughout the years. And I haven't told it all either, because it's like, some of those things ain't for me to tell. Like, it's for me to use as an experience to become better. Like, I just want to be a better performer, a better entertainer. I feel like God put me on this planet to bring joy to others, and to take the hurt that I've experienced and figure out how to turn that, like you said, transmute it into something that's palatable, that I could tolerate, that other people can tolerate, and they can process their pain too. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm a pain processor. That's it. Like, I just process pain and it come out to be not so painful. It comes out to be better. Maybe I'm shedding the light on things that are really happening and nobody's talking about, and it makes others uncomfortable. But fuck it. There's a lot of us out here that's dealing with it and nobody's talking about it because it's a girl thing. If men would have miscarriage, if men have painful cycles, that shit would be cured immediately.
It'd be cured. Whatever products they needed would be free, included in the healthcare plan. Like, girl, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want to see a man bleed for 7 days and live.
Seriously.
And not have a mental breakdown from seeing that 7 days. Mm-hmm. I want to see that. Sometimes I'm just for 30 days and live. I'm like, I can't believe I'm still alive.
Girl, yeah.
I'm still alive. I always got sometimes I'm still alive. Look at that. This is great. It's just a man having this issue.
Yeah.
It would be cured immediately.
Sure would.
I have a mental breakdown.
Yep. Yes, and
I'm like, please, miss me with all that, the criticism and all that. Actually, at the end of the day, that's what I think about criticism. I'm just tell you. They care about me. If you using your time to talk about me, to make comments about me, to make videos about me, or whatever they're trying to do about me, they care. I did my job. I make them feel some kind of joy. One of my foster kids was telling me they don't want me to be famous no more because they don't like, it hurts them to see when people talk bad about me. It hurts them so bad. And I'm like, but it doesn't hurt me. I'm fine with it. And they're like, but it hurts me. You're sweet.
Listen, I relate because Listen, I was a letter writing, email writing fool when my father was lied. I'd be like, I can't believe, how dare you say this about my father? And he was like, you can't go off on everybody. I was like, yes, I can. Watch me. And I just be, yeah. So I get where I get where your false head coming from. I do.
Waste your time. Like, don't waste your time about that. If anything, you should say thank you for noticing, Tiffany. Thank you for caring so much about her that you had to express that if she did her job. Because some people, their joy is talking bad about others. And it's my job to administer joy. So if I can be the conduit to your joy, and it's talking bad about me, spending 8 hours editing the video, finding everything I ever did and put it together, it's like, geez, evil, I hate her. Like, damn, I did my thing. And then you're sharing me and introducing me to all your thousands of new followers or whatever. That's like, I looked her up and I kind of like her. I enjoyed it. Like, I like Tiffany.
Yeah.
And then I got new people giving to the shows because you was a hater. And I don't think of them as haters anymore. I think that, like, I don't even want to say that no more. I think of them as the best publicists ever. They are
loving.
Thank you.
I love it. Because you tweeted or X, I don't know. Do we still say tweet? Is it tweeted or X? Not in change now. I don't know.
I said tweet.
But you said that like, I think last month you were like, basically, thank you for keeping me relevant because good or bad, you keeping it going.
I was trending, numbers going up. They're like, oh, you yelling at Shakira, how dare you? You embarrassing my whole community with that. First of all, I can't embarrass you unless you care about me.
That part.
So you care. Thank you. You just proved that you like me. You watching what I'm doing. Second of all, you have no idea what conversation I had with Shakira before we even went into that room. Because she was sitting in front of me the whole show. Like, once she finished performing, she was sitting right there in front of me. And we was chit-chatting.
Yeah.
And exactly what I set out to do was done. And that was, she needed a viral moment.
But I love it because you do that a lot. Like, you are like that celebrity that does what like a lot of us who aren't celebrities, how we feel when we see, other celebrities. Like, you will roll up on, Meryl Streep, anybody. Like,
you should have seen it when I rolled up on Leonardo DiCaprio. He was just walking down the street. I was just going into this little bar. I went up to him. I said, Leo, hey, Leonardo. He was ignoring me like he didn't see me. And I tapped him on the shoulder. He turned around. He said, oh, shit. Tiffany, come here, girl. Then that big old hug, big old kiss. Told him I'm proud of him. He said, yeah, we got to talk. I got some stuff. I'm proud of you too. I'm like, cool. See you later.
I love it. I love it. I truly love it.
I do to them what I don't want done for me. Like in that scenario too, with Shakira, it was a lot of people trying to get pictures. Then they was grabbing. If you saw they was grabbing at her getting pictures, yeah. I didn't want to take no pictures. I also wanted her to have a viral moment. And we was both heading over to that same place behind the curtains to take pictures together. So let me get this viral moment. And if you really watch the video, you'll see a man go like this. I keep. That was her lady telling them. And I got louder. And when I got louder, people got out the way.
I love it. I love it.
It allowed people.
I love it.
The loud kid don't get kidnapped.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. I'm not going to keep you too much longer, but I did want to talk about the music because I feel like, do you remember when Jamie Foxx came out with his album, Peep This? And everybody was like, hey, he's saying it. Oh, wow. And I remember there's a line like in his intro of the album, like where he has people, so now he's saying, and he says something like, people are like, oh, you're doing this, but what if what I can do is everything? And that was my first thought when I heard you were coming out with the music, because I heard people like, she's singing out, but you've always done that. And you've always incorporated your music in your performances. So
always.
Yeah, right. I'm just like, do y'all? I don't know. Maybe it's because I just pay attention to people or something. But I was like, no, this isn't like new. But what was it for you that said this year, like, yeah, I'm gonna really?
Well, like you know me, so most of my projects, I put some of my music in it. I sing, I rap or something. Maybe I produce a little beat or something. But every project that I'm in, especially in my specials, there is some music from me, right? Mm-hmm. And I've created all this music that I made for different projects that I got coming up. And then it's going to take a long time. There's a strike. And I was like, well, I guess it's time to pivot. Let's go ahead and drop it, mate. And now I'm a musical artist. So I make some videos, I make a little something here, a little something there. And it's not necessarily like someone's like, so is this your new business venture? You're going to get rich? You think you're going to get rich off of this? I don't think I'm going to get rich off of it. I think it's going to be a great way to bring some joy. And also, like, I'm looking at the music today, and a lot of it is, preparing our kids to be prostitutes and hoes. Like, I don't think we should be really projecting that rhetoric all the time. Like, let's give them something else to play with. Let's give them something else to put in their ear. So, like, yeah, let's party, let's dance, let's enjoy life, let's celebrate. You work really hard. Let's have a good time. Like, so most of my music is about like success and being successful, getting to success, like putting in the work, enjoying it when you get there, having fun till you can't have no more fun, and not necessarily, nothing about like, my booty all brown. Like everybody booty all brown, okay? Even the white people, it can be brown, brown, whatever. Like, I don't think this should be something we're talking about. But, if we're talking about it, like, then I want to maybe put something in there that's a little bit better, not necessarily better, but just a little bit more where I wouldn't mind watching my nieces and nephews dance to it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Something like that. That's where my mind is now. And to each their own, no shade to any artist that's like, if they want to, if they coochie scratched or whatever, that's cool. Get your coochie scratched. Like, but I don't necessarily want my niece running around talking about she need her coochie scratched. If you need a scratch, you got a yeast infection and you need to go to the doctor.
Yeah. No, you don't need to be scratching that. No.
No. Go wash it.
Yeah.
Now make a song about washing it. If it's wash it. Like, wash it. Don't tell the whole world. Like, I don't know. I'm figuring it out. But I wanted to create something that would be, fun for all ages. Mm-hmm. And, when I'm working out to it, I don't feel like, damn. Yeah. This is a lot. Yeah. It's like about this with Kim's lyrics from back in the day. I mean, it was aggressive, but it was a story. There was a story being told. It wasn't just, this is just what it is. Like, tell me a story. If you're going to tell me some crazy shit, put it in a story form.
Yeah.
Because you could tell me that you walk around here wet and all that, but why? Where are you doing?
Right. How we get to this point? Yeah.
Is it your cycle? What's up? Why? What's up? Like, tell me a story about it. Like, okay, you gobbled and swallowed and all of this. Why? What did you do? Did you cook dinner? Did you clean all up? Yes, you cleaned your room. You folded up the clothes because I ain't folded up. And like, meanwhile, I'm not getting gobbled and swallowed. I don't know. Like, it's just, I was just thinking about like those type of things. Like, put some substance to it. Like, and so that's why I wanted to create something like that. And just, I want to have fun. I want to explore all. Like, God gave me a lot of talents. I want to explore all of them. He also made me a very talented businesswoman. I make good investments. And I change lives. Like, and in the music, I can tell more. I feel like if I say it in the music, I'm not bragging. If I say it just in GP, then people be like, she bragging, she whatever, which I'm not. I'm just letting you know, if this foster kid can do it, if I can come from being homeless 3 times, if I can not know how to read till I'm 16 years old, if I can do, if all these things happen and I've had all this success since then, I'm a New York Times bestselling author, nominated for a Grammy for reading out loud. Nominated for a Grammy for reading out loud when I did not want to read in class ever. Okay? talk about conquering fears.
Yeah.
Talk about like, achieving greatness and never giving up on yourself. Like, I think that's what we need to be talking about. And I love like how Snoop is like pivoted and he's like doing kids music, doing this kind of, like, it's like gospel music, like it's stuff to like all kinds of genres he's covering, and he's inspiring the next generation to be great and educating them at the same time. Like if you have a voice, I think that's what you should be doing with it. And if you can do it in a way that somebody can twerk and have a good time,
all better. Yes, I love it.
That because of Aretha Franklin. Okay.
I love it. Yeah.
I learned how to spell bananas because
just go with your body. Don't forget about Webby independent. We learn how to spell independent because Webby.
Exactly. You know what that means? Like, I'm just saying, like, that's things that are like gonna help people move forward. You know that? And that's what, like, if you pay attention to all my work, like, even my bad work, the bad choices that I've made, then I say, okay, yeah, sure, I'll help. Like, I'll do that. Like, because I'm thinking this will help people in some way, make people think twice before doing something. Like, every single project I've done, it's not about vanity for me. It's about elevating the community. It's about bringing awareness. It's about saying, hey, guys, pay attention to what's going on here, because these things are happening to our babies, and nobody's talking about this. These things are happening, and nobody's doing this. And hey, it's okay to celebrate. It's okay to enjoy life. You know, sometimes you get around certain people, and they be like, oh, you always celebrate. Yeah, because I might die tomorrow.
True. Yeah.
And you talk about you successful. You successful. You know, Hollywood Haddish, she's successful. Yeah, I woke up today. You successful too.
Yeah.
You woke up today too. You successful. You are successful. You was able to use the bathroom on your own. Nobody had to wipe your ass. Like, you could do it yourself. That is a success.
Yeah.
There are so many people that cannot. Yeah. And I see them. I work with them. Mm-hmm. I see them struggling. Mm-hmm. And I try to figure out how to heal them, how to heal me, how to bring joy. That little morsel of joy is good. And if your joy is shitting on me, but it gonna be happy, bitch.
I'm using that. Don't be happy, bitch. I love it. I'm using that. Yes. But you are one of those people who do walk the talk. You do. Like, you're opening up a health food market in the Crenshaw neighborhood. Like, it's amazing to see, not just because you're Tiffany Haddish, but because these are the things that we don't see. A lot of Black people live in food deserts. And like you said, we don't talk about it. It's thrown out in a statistic, but then nothing much is said or done after that.
Well, here goes another thing. Don't say food desert. Some people get mad when you say food desert because they go, there's restaurants here. There's a fast food place right there. There's another restaurant, fast food place. And it's like, again, you're saying all fast foods. What about a home cooked meal? What about the opportunity to eat something fresh? What about the opportunity to eat something that's grown in your community? What about the opportunity to eat something that comes from your people? Something, there's some power in that. And I don't know exactly what it is, but I know as a Jewish woman, when I go to the Jewish grocery store, I see things come from Jerusalem, something comes from Israel. I see food products in there that come from their land. When I go to the Asian grocery store, I see food products in there that come from their land or land that they own here in America. You know what I'm saying? They come from a Japanese farm, it's just, I go to the Mexican grocery store. That stuff, they're from Mexico. There's things that from that. Where do I go if I want to find something from Africa, from Black farmers, from just African American farmers? Let's not even go from Africa. Just African. I want something from African American farmers. Mm-hmm. Where do I go if I want that?
Yeah,
I gotta go online. I gotta go find them. I gotta just right here in the community, and I want them in communities all over. I want them in communities all over again, so that somebody's like, 25 million just for one store. That's ridiculous. No, it's not just for one store. It's for our communities, for all of us, that have been displaced from our native land, from all of us that need to reconnect to where we came from. I mean, people out here doing 23 minutes about, I'm Nigerian, I'm Guyanese, I'm blah, blah, blah. Can you get something from there to eat right now? Can you eat something from there right now? Mm-hmm. Can you show me a Guyanese restaurant in the community? There, I found two African restaurants. And then, you know, there's a little strip of them on Fairfax in South Central, and not even in South Central, it's in Mid-City. There's a strip of them on Fairfax. They're not open all the time. They got a small little convenience store. You can get a few spices if it gets imported, if they can get their hands on it. Let's make it where it's for us, guys.
Yeah.
Like, we should have that. Every community, Indian communities, like Polynesians, every community has their food, their grocery store. Why don't we have that? Mm-hmm. Why don't we support each other like that? There used to be one in Inglewood when I was a kid. There's a Black-owned grocery store in Inglewood. We used to go there all the time. It's gone. Oh, man, what? We need to have that as a community. It's kind of a shame. Like, we want to change laws. We want to change all these things, but we can't even feed ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what the homegirl's like, shit, I'm going to do right now. He on Popeyes. He Black dude on Popeyes. Okay, cool. And in that Popeyes, there's over 40 different chemicals that's in that sandwich that make people want to kill each other.
Yeah, because that sandwich, I still was like, what is it with this sandwich?
We're somebody for a sandwich for us. They didn't even know each other. Never. Drugs. Drugs is Food and Drug Administration. Food is a drug, and then you put certain foods, a certain way, chemical, mix it up, blah, blah, blah. That's a drug you addicted.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm just like, let's just try to do better with our kids, our next generation, this generation while we're still alive. Let's just try to do better. And let's try to create some generational wealth. And in every community that I know that has generational wealth owns a grocery store. They also own schools.
Yeah. Yep.
And now they push politicians in. So like, I pay attention to the politics. I see who's doing what. I pay attention to a lot of things. And as a Black Jewish woman, I'm a part of two communities. I don't see how one community is sticking together and working and striving to make sure they have, and I'm seeing the other community like, hey, cussing, don't give, like, you know, nobody cares. And then there's just a small handful that's like, we do care. Well, I'm going to gather up with that small handful that do care, and we're going to spread that. We're going to spread that like
because when you create, you know, the opportunities, when you create the community building institutions, that says to a community, oh, okay, I'm cared for. I have safe spaces. When you leave them to their own devices where they don't have it, like I said earlier, it's easy to just start telling yourself, nobody cares. I'm alone. Okay, well, so yeah. And it's like, and we're losing family structure. Like, I just want to get back to, you know, that we're the same age. So when do you remember being in school that was home economics? Yep.
You remember home economics? And like, you had to take that class. You didn't have to take that class, but it was like, you learned to make 3 basic meals. You learned how to like manage your household and stuff. And they're taking that away. And when they took that away, if you notice, like the family structure has deteriorated. Like, it's like, I just need a baby daddy. I can do it on my own, but you can't even feed yourself. Like, you're eating fast food every day and you think that's going to be good enough for your child. Like, and then do you think that's going to be to your child, like that they are loved? Like, when your child sees you cooking a meal for them, making them a sandwich, making something for them with your hands, that's love. That's stuff you remember. Like, me and my mom, we might not be the closest. We might not have had the best relationship, but you know how I know she loved me before she had that accident? I used to watch her making me food. And then we would sit down and eat it together, and she would tell me how she did it and talk to me about it. Like, we had to, like, and to me, that's love. Somebody cooking for me.
Yeah. Listen, I cook for you. That's showing love, because I don't even like cooking. So if I cook for you, that is definitely love.
That's love. But just preparing something, just as simple as making a soup, you know? And then having the kid participate in that. Like, Okay, I'm gonna show you how to cut onions today. I'm gonna show you how to, split the peas. I'm gonna show you how to.
I learned how to cook. Yeah, watching the
and that that you are loved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And a lot of these kids don't know they're loved. The number one search thing on the internet is, how do I love myself?
Oh, yeah.
How do I love myself? That means it's so that they don't know how to love themselves because they ain't been loved.
Nope. Yeah, I say that all the time. A lot of the issues that we have are because a lot of us were not given the love that we needed. And so you grow up chronologically, we got a bunch of people walking around who are adults, but really mentally and emotionally, there's still those wounded little kids who didn't get the love that they needed. So, And it's so easy to just throw at people, just love yourself, just love yourself. But when you live in a world that's constantly telling you it doesn't love you for whatever reason, for whatever you look like, for you don't have access to this, you don't have this money, you don't wear these clothes, whatever these things, it's saying just love yourself. That ain't enough. That's not gonna cut it. Well,
that's how I like it. I'll be telling myself, I tell myself, I look in the mirror, Tiffany Haddish, I love and approve of you. Tiffany Haddish, I love and approve of you. I'll do that for like 5 minutes. When I make a meal for myself, I'll be like, I'm so proud of you. You cooked this for me. Like, just little things.
Yes.
Encourage me to keep going and to keep giving love out. When I don't do those things, I become a nasty, mean person. Like another, not nasty, but just more so like, shut off.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I'm suffering. I'm in a lot of pain. But when I start loving on me, that pain lightens up. And then it comes from other places. The love comes from other places. And I'm able to give it. I feel like a Care Bear. Like, you got to fill yourself up before you can give it away, Absolutely. I'll be on stage like, love, get all this love. I want people to leave my show and go, that girl is full of crazy, but I feel great.
That is what anytime I see you in an interview, even on like red carpet on stage, that is the vibe that you can give off. Like, girl, Tiffany, no, she a fool, but I mean, doggone, if I don't feel good, I have to watch it. Like that is the vibe that you give off. That is exactly how
people will call me. Some people will call me. They don't have nothing to talk about. They just in a rut. They just feel bad. Mm-hmm. And I'll be like, what's going on with you? What's up? What you need? You need something better? No, I just wanted to hear your voice going, oh shit, what's wrong with your ass? You mean, bam, they start telling me, and I start cracking jokes about it, crack a little joke here, crack a little joke there, and I'm like, oh, this is what you probably need to do, blah, blah, blah. Or like, they'll be like, such and such died. I'm like, oh no, damn it, they are so lucky. And they're like, what? I used to say that too. I used to say that all the time. I'm like, damn, lucky Madison. They ain't got to deal with your raggedy ass no more, man. Oh, they get to be it. You mean to tell me they got to know a God? They don't got to deal with your ass? Like, be like, no, I'm just playing. No, seriously, though, I'm sorry for your loss. And then it's like giving love, giving God, but just to get them like, you got to sometimes change people's like trajectory, like shake them up a little bit. And they know it because they get stuck in a place. Like,
it's real easy to get stuck there. It's real easy. Like, you get in a, grief, just despair, anger. It's real easy to get stuck there.
Yeah. And sometimes people mess up and they call me when I'm going through my little sad moment. And then it's just a little pity party. But then by the end of the pity party, we both laugh and it's like, it's a good day. Yeah, it's a good day. Like, I'll just be trying to heal. I've been trying to heal. If you got my phone number, it's because I feel like you somebody that I can heal with. Period. Or get money with, which is also can help with it.
That's what I was gonna say. That's also healing. Yeah, that's also healing. Tiffany, I love it. Like, I can keep talking to you forever, but I don't want to.
I think I'm already late for 2 things.
Okay, so we're gonna come on and end it. So since this is the Bernie's Daughter podcast, always got to end it where we started with my dad. What's your favorite Bernie Mac moment?
My favorite Bernie Mac moment, I would say my favorite Bernie Mac moment is when I actually got to be with him on set at the Bernie Mac show and just, getting to absorb all that knowledge from him. For me, that was my favorite. But then, Kings of Comedy, then all the looking huggies, looking huggies. That was really good too. But I would say for me personally is spending that day with him on the set and learning from him. That was priceless for me.
Loved it. Loved it. And I'm so glad you got to have that moment. I'm so glad that you joined me today. This has been an absolute blast. And thank you to all of you who are either watching or listening at home. You could have been doing anything today. So I do not take lightly that you chose to spend this time with me and Tiffany today. Thank you. This concludes another episode of the Bernie's Daughter podcast. I'm your host, Janice McCullough. And like my daddy before me told y'all, I ain't scared of you. You know the rest. Till then, who you with?